What is the attention? Answer this question. Answer this question by direct observation. I am the eternal subject, free from all object and predicate. I salute that omnipresent consciousness which is free from the tempting concept of objects and hence eternally free. It's a bit strange, this saluting consciousness. It implies a distinction, but what you can do is appreciate it. Appreciate it. We appreciate this consciousness, and that leads us to the bliss that's often referred to, or the relief, or the joy, or happiness. I salute myself, which is the consciousness free of the subject-object division, which acts appropriately without division, and which is the light which is reflected in all appearances. It's the self. We can take pleasure in that. And it's the light which is reflected in all appearances. This awareness is like a light. Because if awareness wasn't happening, there wouldn't be anything. So we can talk about the light of awareness. It is that by which things become apparent. I am that consciousness in which the craving for experience has ceased. I am limitless like space. I am untouched by happiness, unhappiness and the like. Let them therefore do what they like to me, for I am none different from them. Bali gets sent down to the netherworld by Vishnu. So perhaps it's with that in mind that he says this. Movement of energy in one substance is neither loss nor gain. When consciousness alone is everything, thoughts or its expansions do not make that consciousness expand or contract. Hence I shall continue to be active till I reach absolute quiescence in the self. Movement of energy in one substance is neither loss nor gain. Well, I think this must refer to the attention. The practice is to withdraw the attention from all the things it gets hijacked by and direct it towards itself. But once you're established in being able to do this, then you can use the attention to attend to whatever needs to be done. And this is the only thing I can think of what's meant by, and this is movement of energy in one substance or another, so the substance is the object of the attention. And it says, he says, hence I shall continue to be active till I reach absolute quiescence in the self. I'm not sure the translation gives the right idea here. It's when you're not being active, then you can be quiescent in the self. But then when things need to be done, you attend to them. And when you have a moment, then you can rest in the self. So it's not a question of you keep on being active until you die and then you're quiescent in the self, or that way of thinking. No, you can be quiescent in the self at any time. Even in the midst of activities, there'll be moments and times that's possible. But there'll be times when the attention has to be involved in things. So it's simply living a harmonious and efficient life. Vasishta continued, having thus reflected, Bali uttered the sacred word Om, and contemplating its subtle significance, remained quiet. Om has got 4 aspects to it, and in a way it's like the arrow. It's like an arrow of sound pointing us to ourself. It starts off with an ah sound. Ah is quite external, and then it brings us inwards. Ah, it's usually written as ah and and then there's a nasal part at the end. These are the 4 aspects. And I've said before how the 3 worlds are also like an arrow. We've got the external world, the inner world, we've got the thought stream, and then we've got transcendence of that. And Om can represent that. The transcendence is represented by the nasal quality after the final M. So there's when you say the word Om, which is often written A-U-M, that's drawing the attention inwards. And then we can realize that space or that silence within which the sound arises and falls. Silence is like space, it's like consciousness. Silence is that within which all sound arises and falls. And Om leads us to that silence. So this is the subtle significance of Om. And after contemplating that, you reach quietude. Free from all doubts, from perception of objects, and without the division between thinker, thought, and thinking, meditation, meditator, and the object of meditation. In other words, simply thinking, meditating, experiencing, these are all experiencing that is going on. With all intentions and concepts quietened, Bali remained firmly established in this supreme state, with a mind in which all movement of thought had ceased, like a lamp in a windless place. Thus he lived for a considerable time. So Bali is obviously a very impressive demon.